Hi everyone, welcome back to Quick Chat with Jay. I like to talk about movies, TV shows, or anything that interests me. In today's video, we're talking about this episode of Catfish that just gets way too complicated for its own good. In this episode, this is around the time when Neeb had his first child, so he won't be in this one hosting, but we do have Max and his friend Chantal. There's an email that we have from this guy named Marvin, and it's titled, "Gotta Catch My Heart."
My name is Marvin. I'm 22 and I live in Joplin, Missouri. I've been away for basic training in the National Guard for the last 2 years.
Wow, that's exciting.
I was trying to meet new people on social media, hoping that I'd hit it off with someone. All the guys I encountered only wanted sex, until I met this handsome guy named Austin on Grindr.
Alrighty, I have to pull a red flag, put a flag on the play, because if you know anything about Grindr, you know, like, I'm not saying that you can't find love on Grindr, but of all places, I don't think that's the right place to try to find love. He says that Austin is a model, and my reaction is the same as Max and Chantal's.
I learned that he was a model. That's not good.
For my ladies and gents and thimps, if someone tells you that they're a model, 9 times out of 10, they're not a model. The person whose photos they're using might be one, but they definitely are not. So there goes flag number 2 I gotta pull out, because that's already a big, huge red flag. Marvin says that it wasn't any of that that attracted him to Austin. He said it was his sense of humor and his personality that made him keep talking to him.
It was his silly jokes and his outgoing nature that stood out to me. Despite all of our passionate conversations and saying how much we want to meet each other, we've never met in person. I've asked him to hang out, but he's always conveniently busy.
Austin always has an excuse when Marvin wants to meet up with him. He just says, like, you know, he's super busy, or he's at a photo shoot. You know, like, sorry, I can't talk right now, I'm at the Met Gala. Oh, I wish I could meet you. But you know, it's just stuff like that. He always has an excuse for something. And because Marvin really wants to meet Austin, that's why he decided to reach out to the show. Max brings up a point about there being geotagging in, you know, Grindr. And when Marvin says, like, yeah, it says that he's like 2 miles away from me. First of all, stranger danger. But 2, that really leaves more questions as to, okay, so if you're 2 miles away from me, what is the problem with trying to meet up? Like, I don't understand. But they agree to help him. When they get there, they say, okay, like, can we at least see some pictures of Austin just to exactly know who we're dealing with? And almost immediately a dick pic shows up.
I don't mean to sound offensive when I say this, but I like my milk with a little bit of chocolate, if you know what I'm saying.
See, he brought up the kinkiness first.
So that's where he's going. And then he says,
Oh, then he just went for it. Then he just dove right in.
Like, the way that Chantal reacted would have been my exact reaction. Like, I'm not a prude, but you know, like, when you see it, you're like, oh my God, okay, I was not expecting that.
Oh my God. I thought this was a classy party.
But you know, they have been sending news between each other for a while, and you know, it's what people do when they're attracted to each other, so it's not like that's really out of the ordinary. And Marvin brings up a point about how he feels exposed after sharing those photos with Austin, which is totally understandable.
Now I look back and it's like, well, I sent those pictures and now I know I'm exposed. It's like, dang, who am I sending these to?
It reminds me of the last Catfish video I made with Lucas and Minnie, and Jamie says something along the same lines like, you know, I've shared these photos with this person, but I actually don't have any idea who this person is. It's kind of sad because it's all fun and games until you really have to sit down and question, be like, okay, so who the hell am I actually talking to? Who have I been, you know, sending these explicit photos to that I've trusted with them? And who have I been telling my business to when I feel like I don't really know that much about the other person? Another weird thing that happens is he says when him and Austin were on the phone, Austin's sister was there.
We spoke and everything, but then he was like, hey, I got my sister here, because he had to use the bathroom.
So he goes to the bathroom, his sister gets on the phone, and what does she say?
She's talking about how he's a great guy, so she was being a good reference.
She's not biased at all.
So they came back and was talking to me and was like, hey, send me a pic. And I was like,
why would you do that? Listen, my sister and I have a really good relationship. We're close. But I would never, I would never with anyone ask for those type of photos while my sibling is sitting right next to me. That's very weird, and that's another red flag there, because why would you do that in front of your sibling? That makes no sense. Well, I guess more like an ick more than a red flag. I don't know. It's just super weird to me. While Max and Chantal are looking up photos, Austin's that was provided by Marvin, a couple of them don't really show any results, but there is one that shows a result that leads to an account by the name Miles Sexton.
This is our second to last picture. Oh, these are hits.
Ooh,
See,
who is this?
it looks like a lot of names coming up. Miles Sexton. Miles Sexton. Who is this guy? So there's an Instagram account. Look, here are all these other pictures we haven't seen before.
And when they go to this account, they see that this Miles guy is an actual model. The person whose photos they're using might be one, but they definitely are not. And there's some information that moves them further away from being the person that Marvin has been talking to this entire time.
Okay, wait. Here we go. Director of Nord. He's a creative director of Nord Magazine, Toronto, Canada.
What?
Wait, there's a Facebook page here. So here is Miles's Facebook page.
He lives in Toronto.
Oh.
And
Oh,
in
right.
a relationship.
Yeah, he does have a boyfriend.
So
this guy is real. Let's send him
Yeah.
a message.
we should let him know what's
Oh,
going
boy.
on.
Reach out to Miles and let him know what's going on and wait for a response from him. But in the meantime, they get a response from this guy named Woody, who was someone who left a comment under Austin's Facebook account. They go to meet Woody, and Max brings him up to speed about what's been going on and why they're asking questions about Austin. Max asks Woody, like, hey, have you ever met Austin? And Woody says, no, I've never met him, but my friend Kurt has met him in person at this party one time.
And so you said to us that you have a friend that is like going out with him, or
I'm not sure about that. I know they're friends.
okay.
Okay.
Who's your friend, if we may ask?
Kurt.
Kurt. Kurt has seen him in person?
I think he's seen him at a party or something.
You think so?
Do you have a way to get in touch with Kurt?
Well, phone number.
That would be great.
When talking to Kurt, he describes Austin as the guy that we've been seeing in the photos, but how can that be? We already know that's not the real person.
He has long blonde hair, kind of light blue eyes. It's a really good-looking guy.
Wow. So Austin is real.
Yeah, I met him.
You don't have his phone number or anything, do you?
No, I don't.
We know that Kurt is lying.
Right. Kurt has something to do with it.
They go back to Marvin's and let him know what they found during their investigation, and you can tell that this news upsets Marvin.
We ran the photos and we got a hit. This one brought us to the Instagram account of a guy named Miles Sexton. He's got 15.5 thousand followers and lives in Toronto, Canada, creative director of Nord Magazine, model and stylist. Now, this person seems to be perhaps the real person from the pictures.
I have to say, it is really sad to physically see the excitement leave his body as he's realizing that this Austin is not the guy that he's been talking to.
So we still don't know
Who Austin?
who you've been talking to. Now that you know that the pictures are Miles, what do you hope for the best case scenario for this?
That I can still meet this guy.
But then who is this girl that jumped on the phone? That's his sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, that girl.
Max says that it's time to just reach out to Austin, so he goes to make a phone call, but it doesn't go through, and he just ends up leaving a text message and waits for a response. But in that time, a few minutes later, the real guy, Miles, FaceTimes Max, and they use that opportunity for Miles and Marvin to meet each other and let him know that, hey, yeah, I'm not the person that you're really talking to.
Miles, This is Marvin.
Hi, Marvin.
Hey.
So Marvin, for the last few months, has been talking to someone on the internet who goes by the name Austin, who has been using a lot of pictures of you.
So crazy.
So you live in Toronto.
I do.
You've never been to Missouri?
Never.
I think he was just nervous because he was like smiling the entire time. I'm like, this isn't funny. But I think he was just nervous. I mean, I get it. I get nervous when I'm in uncomfortable situations. So I think that was it. But I mean, I will say it's nice that him and Marvin got to meet so Marvin can see like, yeah, that's not who I've been talking to. The investigation kind of goes cold there, but they say that if anything changes, they'll meet up with Marvin tomorrow and let him know. While Max and Chantal are making their way back to their hotel, they get a call from someone named Isaiah, and he explains his role in all of this, what's going on.
Hello, is this Max?
Yes.
My name's Isaiah, and I am Kurt's boyfriend. I just found out that you and Kurt had a bit of a conversation earlier about our relationship with Austin.
Yes.
And I guess you could say I'm fed up with the drama. I just wanted to see if maybe you guys could meet up tomorrow.
Absolutely.
To kind of explain some stuff.
At this point, I feel like I don't even know what's going on. There's just so many wrenches being thrown into this, and it's making it an even bigger mess than what it was. The next day, they get Marvin, and they head over to Isaiah's, and this is when the truth comes out.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good.
Isaiah?
Yeah, I'm Isaiah, Kurt's boyfriend. So, Austin's not a real person.
I'm aware of that.
Kurt is behind it.
So Kurt is the one who's been operating the profile.
Yeah, he's evidently pretending to be someone else.
Also, this is the point in my mind where I had an eureka moment because I remember watching this episode and how pissed off I was at it. I remember watching how it played out. I got so mad and annoyed at this. So from this point forward, y'all might be getting an annoyed Jay. So they go meet Kurt, who is basically down the street at a friend's house. And this is when not only Kurt comes out, but Kurt, Jason, and Kylea walk their asses out of this house and try their best to explain what's been going on.
Kurt, why'd you lie to me?
Well, you weren't really talking to me.
You mean I wasn't?
I knew about the profile. I even helped create the profile. But you're actually talking with Kylea.
What?
I actually have spoken to you on the phone before.
These fools, they say that they created the Austin account because they wanted to catch cheaters. And unfortunately, Marvin got caught in the crosshairs. Whatever.
Originally, the profile was created to bust cheaters.
That was the entire...
That was the intent.
Well, I wasn't cheating on anyone.
You unfortunately got caught in the crossfire and we started talking to you quite a bit. I made the Facebook profile. I didn't talk to anyone on any of the profiles. That was just Kylea. She liked talking to Marvin.
They liked Marvin, and that's why they continue talking to him and forming this warped friendship. They say that they're sorry and they really do care about him, but this has to be the most tasteless and sauceless apology I have ever witnessed in my life.
Even though we have hurt you, we really care about you.
That's it? That's all you guys got?
To talk about how there's about 10 to 15 more Marvins out there that they've been talking to, but the actual Marvin is the only one that they have been forming this friendship with. And I don't know, I guess my definition and my outlook on friendships are wrong, because as far as I know, most friends don't sexually talk to each other and exchange photos like that with each other. So I guess I'm wrong and there's a new take on friendship. When they're asked, okay, so like y'all have this account and you're using it to catch cheaters, How many have you caught exactly? And y'all, the number is so staggering. You won't believe how many people they have caught.
Just for morbid curiosity, what did you do when you found out that someone was kind of flirting extracurricularly? Did you out them?
We outed one person.
So one person for all the Marvins and whoever else you guys were dragging through this, you got one person?
Really, really fantastic work, guys. These people are braver than the Navy SEALs. You need to give them their applause. If you only caught one person while doing all this, you must realize like, okay, this isn't working and just hang it up. Flat screen. I don't know what they were trying to exactly achieve, but it wasn't working. I don't know. Also, their investigative work, I am being very nice even calling it that, is very flawed. According to Jason, he says that he wasn't even sure if people were actually cheating. He just got a feeling about it. But I mean, thank God for Jason's feelings and, you know, having the ability to be the cheater whisperer. This man thinks he is the adultery auditor over here. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I am not off of Jason's neck yet, because he has chosen himself to be the spokesperson for this group, and he tries to hit a Uno reverse card on Marvin and asks him, what makes you think any of this was real?
I feel like I've been tormented for the past 3 months. Y'all playing with my feelings.
What made you think that all this was real?
I don't know, I was giving it a chance. It's not fair. It's not fair that I get taunted with saying, why do you think this is real? Why are you making this account?
I wouldn't be so ready to be sending pictures and stuff like that. And
You're not about to blame the victim here, are you? Because that sounds like where you're going with this, and that would be really f***ed up.
I think that's what he needs to know.
Jason, you're balding and you spend your free time catfishing people. Until you can teach your hair to grow back, I don't think you have the authority to teach anyone else about anything. Maybe get some hymns and then we can talk. I'm sorry. That was rude. That was rude of me. But I don't care. Marvin has done nothing to these people and doesn't even know them. Also, don't y'all think it's weird that y'all were flirting with him? Don't you think it's weird that you were sexually talking to him like that? And on top of that, downloading someone else's nudes and then soliciting nudes from Marvin. Like, you don't get to take the high road on this when you're the weird one in the situation. There's only one way to describe these people, and Max puts it quite nicely when they end their conversation.
Jesus Christ. What assholes.
Also, their mics are still hot when they walk back into the house and we hear them say this.
That.
Oh, Lord.
They made us look a lot worse.
Yeah, Max was pretty harsh. Harvey, what did you think it was going to be? I mean, we're with people. What do you think? They're going to be nice about it? Seriously.
They meet them again the next day and they try to explain why they did what they did to Marvin, but for some reason, Kylea starts with the waterworks and it kind of confuses people in the room.
We all had our own forms of breakdown after yesterday. Sorry. I just... Thanks. I know what it's like to be on the other end. Most of my boyfriends have not ended up straight. I've been the cover story for almost every single person I've dated. So I had a Grindr account to see if anybody I had dated was on there.
Kylea explains how she's basically been a beard in most of her relationships, and I can understand how that can be damaging to one's mental health to be cheated on, but you do not deserve any kind of sympathy or empathy at this time. I don't want the white woman tears right now. I really don't. And yeah, that sounds rude to say too, but I just don't appreciate how she just started crying and trying to make it about herself. This is not about you. This is about Marvin and what you did to him. The other two said they were in on it because one has been cheated on himself and the other one was just in for it to find people who would potentially be cheating, and he'd be the one that would get the people they would go after. They said that they were going to eventually come clean to Marvin, and that's why they kept talking to him. And rightfully and thankfully, Max and Chantal called them out on their bullshit.
Why did you keep it going with Marvin if he wasn't even one of the targeted people?
The thing is that I was trying to keep him interested enough to want to meet us in person.
You were gonna meet him?
For what purpose? And to tell him the truth, that the profile was fake.
That's why you kept on lying to him, because you wanted to finally get him to meet. And
when will this eventually happen?
This doesn't make sense.
Also, we get around to the sexual messages that were shared between them and Marvin. Kylea says in those moments when we were having those conversations with Marvin, that's when all three of them would be talking to him at the same time and they'd be laughing about what he was sending.
When the more graphic, dirty conversations were going on, we were typically together.
And were you laughing? And
yeah.
having a good time with it?
We did laugh at first, yes, but towards the,
Be
the end,
honest.
I'm saying, no.
Was it fun?
I wouldn't say it was
funny?
fun. It was funny, but it wasn't fun. It was funny.
If it was funny, it was fun.
Max calls him out and says that you guys are just taking advantage of Marvin. You can try to dress it up any way you want to, but at the end of the day, that's the ugly truth, and that's what you were doing. Max also tries to offer some words of wisdom for them and let them know, like, hey, just because you've been hurt doesn't mean you get to hurt other people, and I do hope they listen to that.
You were with Marvin, and it's hard to say it because Marvin's sitting here and you did him wrong, but that seems to be the truth. And it's an ugly truth, but I think everyone has their trials and tribulations, and everyone gets hurt in their life by different people. And you can deal with that hurt by hurting other people, or choose to pass on something more positive instead. Marvin is clearly not going to go out and lie to other people and hurt them.
I don't have time for that. Only thing I'm asking is, will this end?
They also have Kylea write a message to post to the timeline of the Austin account, outing that it's a fake and no one should be interacting with it any longer. And seeing this, I have to say it was so satisfying to see the smile on Marvin's face. Our wrong has been corrected, and it feels like there's just some justice in this world.
How do you feel?
I feel a lot better. I learned my lesson too from this, but I hope you learned your lessons.
Max and Chantal talked to Marvin 2 months later, and he's doing a little bit better. He says that he's not dating at the moment, and he's being a little bit more careful about how he does go about meeting people.
I have no doubt you're going to make a great group of friends once they meet you. You're the best.
Keep on charming, Marvin.
Charming Marvin.
They also talk with the Three Stooges, and they say that they're done catfishing and they'll keep their nose out of other people's business.
How are things in Joplin?
It's going okay. Trying to stay out of other people's business. Who's cheating on each other and whatnot, but it's not our place, so.
Oh, that's good.
And you've stopped catfishing?
Yeah, completely stopped.
Honestly, I don't lie to anybody about anything anymore. There's no reason to.
Great.
Awesome.
It's funny how all this could have been avoided if they just minded their damn business and they didn't deputize themselves as the cheater chasers. Usually I have more opinions at the end, but I feel like I have strongly voiced my opinions throughout this video. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more, and leave a comment and let me know what you thought about this episode and what do you think about everything that happened. I have more videos and some new ideas I want to try out, so I hope you'll join me for them, and just make sure to keep on post notifications so you'll know when I post a new video. Thank you so much for joining me in my corner of the internet. I hope to see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.